I want to turn our attention to, a little somber news real quick. Just want to touch on a tragedy that occurred over this past week or two in the world, and shout out to our Dominican brothers and sisters. Tragedy in Santo Domingo a few days ago with the big roof collapse at the concert. 221 people lost their lives. May they all rest in peace, including former Met pitcher Octavio Dotel, who had an awesome career in the major leagues, also pitched for the Cardinals, the Astros, and maybe a couple others. Former pro player Tony Blanco, who spent some time with the Cardinals as well. Nestle Cruz, the sister of the great ball player Nelson Cruz, unfortunately lost her life. And the great merengue musical artist, the musician Ruby Perez, who was on stage at the time that it happened. So just a terrible thing. We just want to say rest in peace and our condolences to the families and the friends of all the people down there. We hope that you can, find peace and balance through all this. And we have you in our hearts and prayers.
Yes, as always.
Yo, welcome in, welcome back, folks. Village Legends Podcast, episode 4. Seth Rogers in your area, my man C-Flash5 by my side. We are back for more.
What up?
Covering all the hottest topics in the sports world. It is April 13th, 2025. We'll recap the last week or so in sports. Take you all around the world. UConn women's basketball, the NBA, the NFL, the world famous boxing segment. Of course, we got hockey on tap. We got baseball and plenty more. See, why don't you set it off for us? Let us know what we're starting with this week.
What up, good people? Back at it. Congratulations once again, and I'll say it numerous times. 12 national championships to the female Huskies of UConn. Coach Gino Auriemma, great wizard of women's basketball and all basketball, all sports. He has 12 national championships, folks. We need to pay homage to that, no matter if it's men's or women's. That man has done it. And we give him a round of applause and a roar. Gino. So, it's been a debate with the top 5 all time. Lady Huskies.
Oh, he's had some great ones. I can't wait to hear this.
He's had just numerous great female basketball players that he's coached that are in the Hall of Fame. If they're not there yet, they're going. Mm-hmm. Trust and believe that. They've also went on to win WNBA titles as well. Mm-hmm. These ladies are just dominant and talented, and we got to give them some love. So, I'm going to start with the top 5, my top 5, C-Flash, that is. And we'll see what my partner, Seth, thinks about that.
I got my top 5, too. I'm ready. Go ahead.
So I got Maya Moore as number 1. Maya Moore was unbelievable. I feel that I've been blessed to watch all of them play. I said, even though I said my top 5, I got to say my top 6. Rebecca Lobo is the one who started all off to win Gino's first national championship back in the 90s. So, again, I say Maya Moore, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Breanna Stewart, and Paige Beckers. And again, my bonus number 6
honorable mention
is honorable mention to Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah. Matter of fact, she's my honorable mention too. I'm right there with you. I think I personally put Diana Taurasi at number 1. Of course, nicknamed the White Mamba from Kobe Bryant himself. Maya Moore is number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Then followed by Sue Bird, Paige, and I put Breanna Stewart at number 5, who's another great player. But we are right there. That's pretty much the top dogs. And my man, you can't go wrong with any one of them, right?
No, not at all. And then if you're trying to start any type of female basketball league or female starting 5, you got to have at least 3 of them ladies in your starting 5. We talk about Hall of Famers. We ain't talking about no scrubs. We ain't talking about no freshman squad. We talking about ladies that can ball out and give you a show. So I also would like to, you know,
and credit to Gino. My bad to cut you off, but credit to Gino, because you gotta work with that talent once you have it, and he's made them all champions. So credit to him for sure.
Yeah, you know, behind the scenes, I would like to ask each and every one of them separately in an interview. Hey, how was it being coached by this man? Because a lot of y'all ladies, you know, when y'all win a championship, it's a hug, it's I love you. But I want to know what it's like being coached by that man, by the wizard
In the trenches,
and him yelling at you guys. I want the truth, and the truth is, describe exactly the great Hall of Famer Gino Auriemma and how he truly coached you in practice and how he yelled at you, and tell some great stories, because you ladies only tell part of the story. We want to hear the truth. Still sticking with women's college basketball. Who's better? Is it Paige Bueckers or Caitlin Clark? Because 2 years in a row, we've had leading 1 and 2s, top female stars, superstars that can be posted up for a discussion. And I'd like to ask all of our listeners and people that, you know, really have their own opinion, who is better? You know, give me your special take, your points on it. Sess, you've gotten it. We've all been, you know, blessed and graced to see these ladies play and do some dominant stuff. So, you know, what do you think?
I mean, it's probably closer than people think. You know, I know Caitlin has the name recognition over Paige, although Paige did a great job of putting herself on the map this year. Personally, if I have to choose between those two, I mean, Caitlin is 6 foot tall. Paige is 5'11", so they're right there. But I have to probably give the edge to Caitlin, because Caitlin averaged 28 points a game in her college career. Paige is no slouch, but she averaged 19.8. So I give the edge slightly to Caitlin. And if you look at the numbers across the board, Caitlin has her, you know, edges her out a little bit. Now, will that translate to the next level? I don't know. In the WNBA, will Paige overtake that spot from Caitlin? It's possible. I think Paige is a little more physical, I would say, maybe. But both excellent ballers. Excellent.
Real quick also, Paige is projected to be the number 1 draft pick in the WNBA draft. I believe that's coming out this week coming up. Believe that might be the 17th or the 18th of this week. But she is projected to be the number 1 draft pick overall.
Yep.
All right. So we have some stars coming out. And as far as UConn Huskies, women's basketball, they are still loaded. You know, you still have AZ Fudd, who was the MVP of the national championship game, and you have the freshman Strong, who some and a lot of critics say she pretty much she played like a senior. She didn't even play like a freshman. The girl was bad in the middle. That is, she was bad in the middle, and she was dominant. I'm looking forward to seeing what it all looks like this fall or next fall coming up. Good luck to all the ladies that have been invited to the WNBA draft, and we wish the best for you.
And by the way, just remember, folks, it's April 13th as we record this. The draft is actually tomorrow, April 14th. All right, so we'll recap it next time we're on with you. If you want to stick with the basketball, let's talk a little NBA. The regular season is a wrap. All right, it's playoff time.
Yes, it is.
It's playoff time. Now, as we know, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the number 1 seed in the East, and the Oklahoma City Thunder, the number 1 seed in the West. A lot of NBA stuff to touch on. Why don't you take us away? Hit us, brother. What do we got today?
Denver Nuggets are up 126 to 111. OKC 115 to New Orleans 94.
Wow.
Toronto 111 to San Antonio's 116. Los Angeles Clippers 97. Golden State 95. Up. Clippers 99. That's a close game with 6:21 left in the fourth quarter. Final. Atlanta 117. Orlando 105. Boston Celtics 93, Charlotte 86, New York Knickerbockers 113 to Brooklyn 105, Indiana Pacers 126 to Cleveland 118, Washington 119, Miami 118. Again, we're coming to the close.
This is it. These are their last games. Yeah, matter of fact, of the season.
Of the NBA season. And I'm excited because you have all these stars that have brought basketball back up, to say. I've made some comments where people have let me know that they debate a little bit of me saying that it's a big man's league. Even my own father, who gave me a call and let me know, no, we have to mention, the Steph Currys, the fiery point guards that we have going on in the NBA today. And I stand corrected if I might have spoke too soon. But that's just my opinion. That's why we love talking about sports, because we are able to get reactions from all listeners and people that love sports as well.
We love all the opinions, and Mr. C called us right before we went on the air, as a matter of fact, to make sure we mentioned Steph Curry, which is outstanding stuff. So, listen, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. All right. And of course, his team is going to be a contender every single year, no matter what. So we appreciate that, folks. Keep the comments coming. Let us know what you think about everything we talk about. We love it. We love it all.
I'm excited to see who will be taking off, who will be shocking the world this year. I know that if gamblers are putting their money down, they're saying that it's going to be a run. They're going to run it back, and that's the Boston Celtics, the current NBA champions. Mm-hmm. And I respect that, but I don't have to agree with what people are saying, because the talent is just so real today. You see like all types of people players, even though they are people, but players who are just doing their damn thing. And I can't, begin to even talk more about it, because it's just that these guys are just fun to watch. You brought back the excitement as a fan, and once again, to me, I'm excited to see what the playoffs will bring, and we will definitely go from there.
The playoffs will start this week, and we got plenty of time to talk about it, because the NBA playoffs are one of the longest playoffs in all of the major sports. The finals won't be until the end of May, early June at this point. So we got plenty of time to talk about it. Couple things to touch on. A lot of guys had some great years. I got the top 5 MVP candidates right here, according to whatever this Google search was. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, tops the list. Nikola Jokic, of course, the Joker. Giannis right there, averaging 32.7 points per game. Ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Jason Tatum, of course, and Donovan Mitchell, who's having just an outstanding year for the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers. So it should be great,
straight beast mode. As Donovan Mitchell has showed his grit. He showed just how great of a player he is. We always see the players that normally just they play with a chip on their shoulder. They play with that hunger and that drive, and that's the one thing I want to say about Donovan Mitchell. I love that young man's game. He's showing the city of Cleveland that, hey, although LeBron has been gone for a while, hey, I'm a star in existence, and I want to put this city on my back and try to go for another championship in the franchise history.
Yes, sir.
Giannis, I've said this before. Giannis is my man. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna come out and say it to those who might disagree with how I perceive it, but I think Giannis should get MVP. I could be wrong. That's okay. But that's my opinion. That's the great thing about talking sports and being able to have your opinion.
Of course.
The Joker is nasty, but at the end of the day, I think the Joker's been on a high for so long that now he's coming down. And that's just like if you're in a big time fight, you know, when you get down to those championship rounds, you're starting to fade now. And, you know, it's great when you win back-to-back MVPs and you get a championship. But, you know, the one thing I go revert back to, and I stand by it, can you hold on to that mojo? Can you hold on to, you know, that grit and that drive? Because as I see it as of right now, there could only be one team that in my book is still one of the greatest. And ain't nobody touching them. You hear me? Ain't nobody touching them. That's the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, baby.
I don't think there's any Chicago Bulls type teams in the NBA right now, but it should be a great playoff season. And that MVP race, my pick is the Joker. He's averaging a triple-double. I mean, I don't know how you can doubt the man averaging a triple-double. As a matter of fact, him and the Bucks and the Nuggets have the same exact record going into the last day of the season. So it should be interesting to see how the playoffs go, my brother.
Yes, indeed. So congratulations again to all that have made it into the NBA Hall of Fame. It's a great honor, a great privilege, and we all need to, again, pay homage, applaud all those that put their work, that they put their effort, that went tirelessly to be great at their craft and make it all the way to the little creme of the creme. Once you get inside the Hall of Fame, doesn't matter what sport it is. There's been numerous former superstars that have come out and said it. They said it's like being reborn again. And that's powerful statements from people because when you're reborn again, it's that's a speechless thing to say. Yeah. You know, but just to know how that might make you feel, you know, that's a great thing to say internally. Yes. But to know that something like this has made you feel reborn again is strong. And like, again, the ones that I want to talk about again, and I named her as my top 5 UConn girls, great basketball players of all time at the University of Connecticut under Gino Auriemma and his program. I have to say Maya Moore, she stands out. A lot of people don't know that Maya is a good person, thick in and thick out. She's a really good person. And what she did for college basketball was amazing. And what she did outside of basketball is amazing. Trying to change the world, per se. And shout out to Miss Maya Moore. You know, you deserve it. Dwight Howard, you know, I believe you were a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. You were a beast, my man, with the Orlando Magic. You brought back something that Shaq had deserted. So, you know, I applaud you, Dwight. You know,
by the way, they made up. Shaq and Dwight are now friends. They made up finally. It's awesome.
Which is great because now, you know, you are in the family. So, and then you have the great Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, my guy right there.
You know, my man Sess's boy. Yep. As a freshman at the Syracuse University, national champion.
Amazing.
Carmelo Anthony, national champion. And I believe about 3 or 4 gold medals, or about 3, if I'm not mistaken, with the Olympics.
Men's national team, yep.
Yes. And Miss Sue Bird. She's also one of the names that we named for the top 5.
Another UConn alum. Yep.
UConn female Huskies basketball team. And that's just you know, just say the least. There's more, but those are the ones that people seem to be talking about more, and it's trending. So I just wanted to, you know, put that out there, and I think that's awesome.
I love the Basketball Hall of Fame, specifically because it's not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's just the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. That's why you get the females, you get the coaches. Carmelo Anthony, I still remember when he came to the Knicks, when they used to run those commercials. Remember that? I'm coming home. I'm coming home. You remember that? Mm-hmm. Man, he, you know, I wish he would have had some more help around him, but what a baller he was. What a baller. The 2008 U.S. men's Olympic team is also being inducted. That was called the Redeem Team after they came off a bad showing the 4 years prior to that. That featured Carmelo. That featured Dwight. LeBron was on that team. Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, and others as well. And shout out to Coach Billy Donovan, who's going in as well.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Florida Gators. Look at that. Yeah. The reigning national champions of 2025. But Billy Donovan and Joakim Noah and all them boys that he had. Oh my God, they was tough. They was tough, boy.
Yeah. And referee Danny Crawford, maybe Jordan's favorite referee, going in. So shout out to them. Real quick on LeBron. I don't know if you saw it this week, but Isaiah Thomas went in on LeBron. LeBron's doing his pregame workout. He's wearing sweatpants. He's got no shirt on, and he's got a do-rag on his head. And Isaiah just had it with LeBron. He started slamming his pen on the table, and he said, "I'm sick of this. LeBron, you got to be more professional." And listen, I got to agree with him. LeBron, one thing about LeBron, and I always come off a little bit as a LeBron hater. I'm not. I recognize his skills and what he's brought to the game. He's been outstanding. But one thing LeBron has never been, in my opinion, just me, has been a true leader and a true person that people want to follow in his footsteps. He just never has come across that way to me. But again, shout out to the new Hall of Famers. Loving the convo so far? Drop a comment and let us know your take. And if you're rocking with us, do us a favor, hit that like button and share this with a fellow sports fan. Let's keep this community growing, folks. Let's go. What do we got? Is it time for, oh no, we got a little NFL coming up, right?
NFL.
Yes, sir.
NFL is definitely one of the hot topics right now, especially with the NFL draft coming up this month. It is a great time to discuss a couple of things that I want to speak about. I feel that these young men are going to definitely make a team better in the NFL out of, I believe we have all 31 teams or 32 teams. I mean, how many NFL teams we have? I believe it's
32, I think it is.
32 NFL teams, correct? Just want to make sure that I'm accurate with that. But
yeah, 32.
So we have the 32 NFL teams, and like I said, one of these young men, and this is what I see, top 6 running backs.
Ooh.
And I touch bases on running backs because I like how Saquon and a couple of other superstars today have really they have knocked down the narrative of NFL running backs in their short-term career.
Yeah, true.
They have put the pressure on their backs. They have said, hey, you know what? You guys could sit there and say that we have a short career span, but at the end of the day, that's not the case. We also could show you that in this short career span, that without our engine, the offense won't go nowhere. It's not just about a quarterback. It's not just about the other additives that come with the offense of an NFL offense, but it's true. There's 3 things that you need. I personally believe with any type of whether it's college, high school, NFL, you need an offensive line. If you don't have an offensive line, your offense ain't going nowhere. Then it's your quarterback. Then it's your running back. Okay. Yes, coaching plays a difference as well. You need a good coach that could call some good plays. But there's so much more that I'm even missing that plays into the sport of football. And I'm only saying that because I once played the sport. I love this. It's still to this day my number one sport that I still will always root for. But today we need to be more clear. Running backs play a major part in football. And I believe these players that I'm about to name will make an NFL team, better. I noticed Ashton Gentry, okay, out of Boise State, 2,600 yards. That's that. And he was also one of the top 3 or top 4 finalists in the Heisman Trophy race this year. Omarion Hampton out of UNC, he had 1,026 yards. Trayvon Henderson averaged 7.1 yards at Ohio State. Cam Scatterbo, this young man, it reminds me a lot like one of our currents that's in the NFL right now, Christian McCaffrey. He hit 1,500 yards rushing and 500 yards receiving. Trevor Etienne, his brother's in the NFL, but
Travis,
we can't compare the two. Both of them are talented, but this young man's gonna make an NFL team better. He had 9 TDs and 803 all-purpose yards. And Khalil Mullings, out of my school, the Michigan Wolverines, 948 yards with 12 touchdowns. And I tell you, he's a load to take down. I don't know what you think about that, Seth, but I just want to drop that in your ear as well.
Well, that's great, man. Listen, the running backs have had a resurgence in the NFL. There was a few years there just recently where a lot of people were saying running backs didn't matter too much anymore in the NFL. But thanks to Saquon and guys like him in the NFL, and Derrick Henry, of course, the king, who has kept him going.
Yeah.
And of course, proving your point about longevity from the running back position. He's had a nice long career. So shout out to all those running backs. We wish them all the best. Who's the number one guy coming out in the draft? Is it Gentry? Is he the number one guy? I mean, 2,600 yards is pretty impressive.
As far as running backs, you're talking about?
As far as running back.
Yeah. I mean, people are looking at Ashton as the number one running back to come out of the draft. But again, NFL teams look at a lot of points when they're drafting any player. So we don't know if he's going to be the first one to come off the board. That remains to be seen. So until then, I don't want to put myself out there and say, hey, Ashton Gentry out of Boise State is going to be the number one pick. I don't want.
Well, the numbers are certainly the most impressive. So that, but like you said, we'll see where the.
In other words, I'm not Mel Kiper. And no disrespect to Mel Kiper, he's been doing this since 1984. So all pay homage to Mr. Mel Kiper. I know he's not always right as well, but you know what? He's been doing this a long time, so I don't want to jump into his position of predicting. So New York Giants, for the metropolitan area and a lot of us Giant fans. It's a confusing state right now because everybody's thinking, hey, Shedeur Sanders, or speaking. They're not thinking, but they're speaking Shedeur Sanders. And then you have the Cam Wards. You have the running backs that I just named. And then there's a spin of what the Giants are trying to do. And I believe if they don't go Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward route, they already have their minds made up on what quarterback that they want to mess with, Seth. And I honestly personally feel that because they have the 3rd pick in the NFL draft, I would go after Abdullah Carter. Wow. Abdullah Carter is a beast. Wow. And this young man is playing lights out. He had double-digit sacks in this past college season, and was able to bring his team to a college football playoffs. Nice. So I believe that and I say we with emphasis, and I just want to say because that's my heart is straight Giants. And when I say this, my good people, I want to be clear that when you have a team that you support them to the end. You don't jump ship. There is codes being broken, and I don't want to offend people, but this is true life. Any team or any sport that you love, you ride or die with that team. Understand me? Absolutely. Always ride or die with them. There will be good times, there'll be bad times, but stay with those teams because it all pays off in the end.
By the way, Abdul Carter, just as in terms of your Giants point, he actually posted on Twitter, or X as they call it now, a picture of Lawrence Taylor. So he might want to be a Giant. He also had the caption from Mr. Mara, once a Giant, always a Giant on there. So looks like Abdul wants to be a part of that organization, and we'll take him, my brother. We'll take him. Absolutely. What else is going on in the NFL, my brother?
We want to say congratulations on that one hell of a career from Julio Jones, who has officially retired at 36 years old. Future Hall of Famer without a doubt. 900 folks. Listen to this: 914 receptions, 13,703 receiving yards, and 66 receiving touchdowns. That goes up there with the outstanding greats that we have as Hall of Famers now. Julio Jones, it was a pleasure, and and you graced us with such talent. Although you played at Alabama, I know you were a former Roll Tide player. But hey, you know, much love to you, Julio, because again, you still was a beast at your craft as a wide receiver. You were that alpha dog, man, and we salute you, King.
Salute to Julio Jones, definite Hall of Famer, ranks 19th all time in receiving yards, 24th in receptions. So shout out to him. So you guys hear that bell ring and you know what time it is. Here we go. Take us away, C.
Yes, sir. Congratulations to Jaron Boots Ennis. Boots has captured now he now holds the WBA and the IBF welterweight titles, which was last night a unification bout, and defeating Montes Stanionis, and it was.
You like this kid? He's the truth. Huh?
It was. I want to say dominant fashion, but I'm not going to say that at all. I'm going to say that Boots did what he always does. He puts on a clinic. Yes, I do like him, Sess. I think that Boots is he's been overlooked by a lot of fighters, for some promoters and again, we go back and touch bases on this because this has to stop again, because we feel that as boxing fans and boxing fans alike, we are being robbed because of these promoters and these divas that we call fighters who want to see nothing but big fat checks. I believe that we need to understand one thing. Boxers without fan base, you're not going to see these big checks. We as boxing fans, we want to see good fights. So you have to fight the best. You got to, take a sacrifice. You got to do the sacrifice. You got to take it. You got to put your foot forward and roll the dice. We want to see you guys fight the best. So when you fight the best, no matter who it is, if they are in the top 5 on the pound for pound list, you got to fight them. And sometimes if they're not, you still got to stay fresh. But we need to get out of this, you guys feel like you're entitled to get these big paydays. You're not entitled to do a damn thing unless we see you guys fight the best. Stop shortchanging the boxing fans. I have been very, very vocal on this, and I go back to this, and I'm going to stay on it.
On this show.
Shortchanging us boxing fans.
Yep.
Boots, we want, you're calling out a lot of people because you are hungry, and I respect you. People seem to be, oh, well, you know what? Who's Boots? My fighter, who's pound for pound the best, Terrence Crawford, has gone on record saying that, hey, you don't think that the young fiery lion has anything for you, and you didn't say it in those words, Terrence, but you did say it basically, you're above that right now. You're ready for the big fight. You have a big fight, Terrence, in September versus the legendary Canelo. So, I get that. I understand that there's so much into this boxing stuff, but we need to understand this. You guys need to respect the fans. We understand that you guys are putting your body through so much punishment, and it's, you guys have to, ultimately live in the future with your families. We respect that. But as fans, we feel we're getting robbed once again when we order these fights, and we're not seeing what we want to see. So you can't forget about the fans, because at the end of the day, the fans is truly what makes you guys. So I'm very a special shout out to Jaron and Boots Ennis for unifying the titles at welterweight. I also wanted to talk about Shakur Stevenson and the state of Tank Davis.
My guy.
The lightweight division was looking like it was on fire, but now it's the flames are being put out because no one wants to fight. Everybody has their reasons and their excuses, but that's what we see them at, their excuses. And you're jipping, and you guys are shortchanging the boxing fans. Enough is enough. We need to make these fights happen, and soon. You know, when I say soon, it's not an ASAP moment. Just sign on the dotted line. Stop feeling like you're entitled. Yeah.
While everybody's still good, Absolutely, brother. I didn't realize Ennis 34-0, 30 knockouts. He's out of Philly, I think, right? Ennis?
Yes, he is.
Nice. Philly.
Another great Philly fighter.
Shout out to Philly. Always producing great boxers. Absolutely, brother. What else you got in boxing, see?
I also want to give a quick shout out to Miss Tina Ruprecht. Pardon me, miss, for messing up your name, because I know what that feels like. I do not like that whatsoever when people mispronounce my name. But I have to give you a shout out on this. You have, whenever you claim undisputed status, you are and have to get a round of applause. So, I don't know what 102 feels like. You are at the Atom division, Atom weight title division.
Is that what they call it?
Yes, they call it the Atom weight. So you have I thought featherweight was little, but you have the Atom weight, which is at the weight of 102 pounds. 102 pounds. So I give you a lot of props for being undisputed. And when you make that accomplishment in boxing, we must announce that, because it's not just the fact that you're a woman or it's a male. It's the fact that this is what you work hard for. So that's pretty much it. And Tim Tszyu, a winner in his bout, he's called out Keith Thurman. And Keith, I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but this boy is for real. Tim Tszyu is no joke. And if you're going to get in the ring with this young man, be prepared to go to war.
That's our boxing segment for the week, folks. Not many people cover boxing anymore. You don't have to worry about that with us. We love the sweet science here at the Village Legends podcast. Want to switch gears real quick, give a quick hockey shout out to Alexander Ovechkin, the new all-time leading goal scorer. Yes, sir. In NHL history. Amazingly,
the Great Eight.
Yep, the Great Eight. Amazingly, it took him the exact number of games to hit the record as it took Gretzky to set his record. Gretzky, 894 goals in 1,487 games. Ovechkin got 895 in game number 1,487. So shout out to him. The debate now becomes who was better. Ovechkin obviously is not done, so he will continue to pour on the goals. But Ovechkin only has one Stanley Cup. And of course, the great one, Wayne Gretzky, has 4 under his belt. So for my money, it's still going to be Gretzky, but Ovechkin, you are the man. No one's going to take that away from you. And shout out to you on that, my brother. Real quick, guys, today is Sunday, April 13th. The Masters golf tournament is going on right now. We will recap that at a different time. But right now, you got Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose, and Bryson DeChambeau battling for that green jacket. A purse of $21 million to be divvied up between the top 40. Matter of fact, number 39, I think, gets like $300,000 from the 39 spot. So
in the Masters,
yeah, $21 million purse. The first place, I believe, gets $4 million. So that's fantastic. That means, it's 40 top spots make the money. So shout out to my brother out in LA, Real Estate Jesse. You still got a chance, my boy. You still got a chance.
Yes.
Go for that 40 spot.
Get it, Jess. Get it.
Yes, sir. Is it time? Is it time now? Is it time
yes,
for our extra point? You know. Give it to us.
So here we got the. I know a lot of people might have thought we forgot about the reigning national champions, the Florida Gators, which we talked about earlier in our segment. But you know, they are just they did what we thought they would do. A lot of people did not have them picked to win the national championship, but I tell you, they were led by their star point guard and Walter Clayton Jr. Good luck with his NBA future. This kid just has a killer instinct in him, and he is just when the lights are the brightest. Walter Clayton Jr. I call him sweetness, you know, and he shines, and he truly does. So again, congratulations to the Florida Gators.
Congrats, boys! Great job by them. Great job. Nice. What do we got left? I know we got to talk a little Mets baseball here. Our boys are 9-5. All right. We're doing well. We're out on the West Coast right now. A little West Coast trip, which is hard when they play at night to stay up till 1 a.m. to watch them. But we do our best. Mets are playing good ball. You know, they're 9-5. The top 5 guys or 4 guys in the lineup are hitting. The rest of the guys are not. So hopefully that turns around. And our pitching's been great. We're literally in the top 5 in like every pitching stat right now. So I got to show some love to the Mets there. You know, and as a matter of fact, they are actually live right now. Top 8. They're up 4-0 over Oakland. Shout out to Oakland, by the way. They have a good young team, man. They got this kid, Jacob Wilson, rookie. He started off the season with a 15-game hitting streak right off the bat. The kid is a baller. They got J.J. Bleday, Tyler Soderstrom, Zach Geloff. The A's are a good young team. Now, the A's are always a good young team. The problem is they don't have any money to pay these guys, so they always stay a good young team. They don't ever go over that hump. Because when the veterans, when it's time for them to get paid, somebody else usually pays them, not Oakland, you know. But anyway, shout out to the Mets. They're doing their thing out there.
Just real quick, I want to definitely to all y'all Dodger fans. You know, I don't like throwing the daggers, but you guys lost 16-0. That's absurd.
That's rare for the Dodgers.
That is unheard of for all of the money in the just the superstardom that you have on that team to lose 16-0 to the Chicago Cubs. What is going on out there in LA? The Dodgers. Wow.
I don't know if they're worried yet. They're 11-5, but that is maybe that's a wake-up call for them to keep the pressure on. Again, it's April 13th, 2025. As we wrap up, we'll give you today's sports birthdays. Davis Love III, the great golfer, as we talk about the Masters, celebrating a birthday today. Remember this name from the past, Dana Barros, the former point guard for the Boston Celtics. He has a birthday today. This one is just for my kicks. Monty Brown, former NFL linebacker who ended up going into pro wrestling, used to do a move called the Pounce. So shout out to Monty Brown. The great Spurs defender Charles Bo Outlaw.
Okay.
And here's a guy that some people say in the soccer world is considered maybe the greatest defensive player of all time, Carles Puyol, who played for Spain and for the great Barcelona teams before Messi got there, and then into Messi's career, helped Messi become the great player that he was. And Hunter Pence, the longtime pro bowler who had a funky style of play, the way he threw, the way he ran, the way he hit. Shout out to these guys. Happy birthday to all of them.
Happy birthday, fellas.
Guys, thank you once again. Episode 4, Who Woulda Thunk It, coming to a close. Thank you for hanging with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what we're missing. Let us know what we got. And we appreciate every single one of you. See, take us out the way you always do.
Well, it's been another blessed podcast. And this week in episode 4, just want to say I wish y'all all a great week. And as always, think of sports.
Peace.